Hey, what's up? How's it going, guys? Just a couple things to mention really quickly in response to Brittany. I also read The Fault in Our Stars, and I thought it was awesome, and I'm super pumped that it's getting made into a movie as well. I'm expecting great things out of that, so hopefully it'll be awesome. Second, I think from what I've seen, Wheel of Time is usually fantasy. It's pretty tame though, so I think it could be appropriate for anyone like 12 and up, but I don't think it's specifically YA. It's just like fantasy that is more or less all ages. And I've never even heard of the Mistborn series, so you have to tell me more about that. I do want to read, well, sort of. I've heard great things about this Divergent series and like the City of Bones. I don't know if I want to read those, but I've seen them a lot. So I'm gonna do something a little bit different this video. I've got a bunch of books here that you can't see, and I'm gonna try to read a poem from each of them. This is more or less a not chronological, but sort of chronological look through poetry, starting with guess I'm starting with Keats, so it's not that old, but whatever. Uh, yeah, this is some poets that I like. Keats. O thou whose face hath felt the winter's wind, whose eye has seen the snow clouds hung in mist, and the black elm tops 'mong the freezing stars, to thee the spring will be a harvest time. O thou whose only book has been the light of supreme darkness which thou feddest on night after night when Phoebus was away, to thee the spring shall be a triple morn. O fret not after knowledge, I have none, and yet my song comes native with the warmth. O fret not after knowledge, I have none, and yet the evening listens. He who saddens at thought of idleness cannot be idle, and he's awake who thinks himself asleep. A. E. Housman. To an athlete dying young. The time you won your town the race, we cheered you through the marketplace. Man and boy stood cheering by, and home we brought you shoulder high. Today the road all runners come, shoulder high we bring you home, and set you at your threshold down, townsman of a stiller town. Smart lad, to slip betimes away from fields where glory does not stay, and early though the laurel grows, it withers quicker than the rose. Eyes the shady night has shut cannot see the record cut, and silence sounds no worse than cheers after earth has stopped the ears. Now you will not swell the rout of lads that wore their honors out, runners whom renown outran, and the name died before the man. So set before its echoes fade the fleet foot on the sill of shade, and hold to the low lintel up the still defended challenged cup, and round that early laureled head will flock to gaze the strengthless dead, and find unwithered on its curls the garland briefer than a girl's. Robert Frost. Revelation. We make ourselves a place apart, behind light words that tease and flout, but oh the agitated heart, till someone really find us out. 'Tis pity if the case require, or so we say, that in the end we speak the literal to inspire the understanding of a friend. But so withal from babes that play at hide and seek to God afar, so all who hide too well away must speak and tell us where they are. Frank O'Hara. You do not always know what I am feeling. Last night in the warm spring air, while I was blazing my tirade against someone who doesn't interest me, it was love for you that set me afire. And isn't it odd? For in rooms full of strangers my most tender feelings writhe and bear the fruit of screaming. Put out your hand. Isn't there an ashtray suddenly there, beside the bed? And someone you love enters the room and says, "Wouldn't you like the eggs a little different today?" And when they arrive they are just plain scrambled eggs, and the warm weather is holding. Robert Creeley. The Warning. For love, I would split open your head and put a candle in behind the eye. Love is dead in us if we forget the virtues of an amulet and quick surprise. Yusuf Komunyakaa. Work. I won't look at her. My body's been one solid motion from sunrise, leaning into the lawnmower's roar through pine needles and crabgrass. Tiger-colored bumblebees nudge pale blossoms till they sway like silent bells calling. But I won't look. Her husband's outside Oxford, Mississippi, bidding on miles of timber. I wonder if you find Faulkner's ghost, if he might run into Colonel Charteris along some dusty road. Their teenage daughter and son sped off an hour ago in a red Corvette for the tennis courts, and the cook, Roberta, only works a half-day Saturday. This antebellum house looms behind oak and pine like a secret, as quail flash through branches. I won't look at her. Nude on a hammock among elephant ears and ferns, a pitcher of lemonade sweating like our skin. Afternoon burns on the pool till everything's blue, till I hear Johnny Mathis beside her like a whisper. I work all the quick hooks of light, the same unbroken rhythm my father taught me years ago. Always give a man a good day's labor. I won't look. The engine pulls me like a dare. Scent of honeysuckles slings black sap through mystery, taboo, law, creed. What kills a fire that is its own heart burning open the mouth? But I won't look at the insinuation of buds tipped with cinnabar. I'm here, as if I never left, stopped in this garden, drawn to some lotus-eater. Pollen explodes, but I only smell gasoline and oil on my hands, and can't say why there's this bed of crushed narcissus, as if gods wrestled here. Charles Wright. The Monastery at Versailles. We've walked the grounds, inspected the vaults and the old church, looked at the icons and carved stalls, and followed the path to the bishop's grave. Now we sit in the brandy-colored light of late afternoon under the locust trees, attended and small from the monastery. Two nuns hop back and forth like grackles along the path. The light drips from the leaves. Little signals of dust rise uninterpreted from the road. The grass drones in its puddle of solitude. The stillness is awful, as though from the inside of a root. Time's sluice and the summer rains erode our hearts and carry our lives away. We hold what we can in our two hands, sinking each year another inch in the earth. Mercy upon us, we who have learned to preach but not to pray. C. K. Williams. House. The way you'd renovate a ruined house, keeping the shell, as we call it, brick, frame, or stone, and raising the rest. The inside walls, partitions, we say, then stairs, pipes, wiring, commodes, saving only, no, save nothing this time. Take the self-shell down to its emptiness, hollowness, void, down to the scabrous plaster, down to the lining bricks with mortar squashed through their joints, down to the eyeless windows, the forlorn doorless doorways, the sprung joist powdery with rot, down to the slab of the cellar, the erratically stuccoed foundation, the black earth underneath all, down under all to the ancient errors, indolence, envy, pretension, the frailties as though in the gene, down to where consciousness cries, "Make me new," but pleads as pitiably, "Cherish me as I was," down to the swipe of the sledge, the ravaging bite of the pick, rubble, wreckage, vanity, the abyss. Louis Gluck. The Red Poppy. The great thing is not having a mind. Feelings, oh, I have those, they govern me. I have a Lord in heaven called the sun, and open for him, showing him the fire of my own heart, fire like his presence. What could such glory be if not a heart? Oh, my brothers and sisters, Were you like me once, long ago, before you were human? Did you permit yourselves to open once, who would never open again? Because in truth, I am speaking now the way you do. I speak because I am shattered. Claudia Emerson. Metaphor. We didn't know what woke us, just cold moving, lighter than our breathing. The world bound by an icy ligature, our house was to the bat a warmer hollowness that now it could not leave. I screamed for you to do something, so you killed it with the broom, cursing, sweeping the air. I wanted you to do it, until you did. Hannah Gamble. Everything that's alive stays that way. The war was everywhere, not just in the desert, where we expected it to be. One night I heard the war in the wall behind my head, an animal with thick skin wings beating another toothy beast, claws hitting fur, wood, flesh. I asked my neighbor later what it had been like to be alive before a time of war, and he said it was funny we even have a word for it, because everything that's alive stays that way, by tearing heat from another's belly. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you tomorrow.